Being a person who is a lifelong learner and deeply fascinated by the wonders of our world, I recently came across an article that took my breath away. It explores the origins of life on Earth and raises an intriguing possibility of a connection with our neighboring planet Mars. So grab a cup of tea and join me as we delve into this captivating theory. Former chair of the astronomy department at Harvard, Professor Avi Loeb, pondered whether an advanced Martian civilization could have terraformed our planet, making life possible. As far as we know, Earth is the only planet in the solar system where life exists. Scientists strive to determine if there are other planets where biological life is possible. One of the closest planets to Earth is Mars. Scientists have discovered that in ancient times, billions of years ago, the red planet closely resembled Earth. Based on evidence found by researchers, Mars likely had an atmosphere, extensive oceans, rivers, and lakes. Overall, it met all the necessary conditions for the existence of life. Presumably, when Mars was covered in greenery, with liquid water on its surface and an atmosphere that shielded it from the harsh conditions of space, Earth was a planet where life was impossible. Everything suddenly changed about 2.5 billion years ago. Mars lost its atmosphere and transformed from a planet capable of sustaining life into a frozen desert resembling what we see today. Its oceans vanished, and its rivers and lakes evaporated. Today, scientists are studying the remnants of these reservoirs. Some researchers believe that when Mars lost its habitability, Earth found it. We often take oxygen for granted, but it was absent from Earth's atmosphere for half of its existence. Initially, the planet had a reducing atmosphere with carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor. However, a silent force released oxygen and altered the composition of the atmosphere. The mysterious actors were cyanobacteria. These microorganisms, appearing around 2.7 billion years ago, possessed the remarkable ability to perform photosynthesis, harnessing energy from sunlight and releasing oxygen as a byproduct. Cyanobacteria released oxygen into the seawater over hundreds of millions of years. The accumulated oxygen eventually escaped into the atmosphere, reacting with methane. This event, known as the GreatOxidation Event, occurred approximately 2.4 to 2.1 billion years ago. It not only shaped Earth's atmospheric composition, but also paved the way for the emergence of aerobic metabolism and multicellularity. The oxygen released by cyanobacteria had a profound impact on the development and diversity of life on our planet. Our current existence owes much to the remarkable role played by these ancient microorganisms. Recently, astrophysicist Avi Loeb posed the question of whether Martians could have terraformed Earth. Professor Loeb raises this question in his latest article on Medium. In his essay, the astronomer calculates that if an advanced extraterrestrial civilization had arisen on Mars twice as fast as on Earth, and when the red planet lost its habitability, all the infrastructure on Mars would have long been destroyed and turned to dust due to asteroid impacts. This natural devastation would be equivalent to several dozen atomic bombs, like those dropped on Hiroshima, being detonated on a square kilometer of Mars's surface. But what if this advanced extraterrestrial civilization had the means and technology for interplanetary travel within the solar system? What are the chances that such a civilization, foreseeing the demise of their own planet, would decide to reshape another world? If an advanced technological civilization existed on early Mars, there would likely have been a Martian version of Elon Musk, who founded a Martian company, let's say Spacey, with the goal of transporting Martians to Earth after expressing a desire to die on Earth. And imagine that this desire was fulfilled 2 to 2.5 billion years ago, in contrast to the myriad reflection of Musk's current desire to die on Mars, which is yet to be realized. As explained by Professor Loeb, the strong oxidation and growth of cyanobacteria could have been artificially cultivated through suppression of competing species, seeding or increasing the availability of nutrients that allowed cyanobacteria to thrive. To be honest, like Professor Loeb, I am not a fan of science fiction when the storyline violates the laws of physics. But I love science, and this hypothesis of a terraformed Earth can be tested based on a scientific method. It could easily be ruled out by studying early life on Earth or Mars and discovering that the genetic code of living organisms on these two planets is different. But we can also look for archaeological evidence on Earth, Mars, or even the moon if an earlier civilization had landed there. Dating of a salt crater using data from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter suggests that liquid water existed on Mars around 2 to 2.5 billion years ago. NASA's MAVE and spacecraft provided evidence that Mars lost its atmosphere around the same time. So far, the Perseverance rover has not detected any relics of Martian technology, but the last search could also be conducted on Earth. What will the archaeological traces of a Martian civilization look like on Earth? The technological infrastructure of a civilization that preceded us and then perished billions of years ago would have been destroyed by meteor impacts and geological activity in the form of volcanoes and tectonic movements. But in places where the devastation was incomplete, we might find unusual relics. Any such search would be a high-risk, high-reward operation. However, the level of risk or reward associated with the search is much lower than actually relocating a technological civilization from a rocky planet to its closest neighbor. In the event that Martians arrived here first, Musk's current ambitions to transport humans to Mars resemble a plan to visit one's childhood home after the death of parents. What are the chances, and does even a remote possibility exist, that an advanced extraterrestrial civilization existed in the solar system long before Earth became habitable? And what are the chances that such a civilization helped foster life on Earth or move to it? That's it for me. Subscribe to the channel if you were interested in this video and you learned something new for yourself. I'd also be interested in reading your opinions in the comments. What do you think about this theory? See you later.